Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for your positive contribution to this topic that we had in the house. Reputation. What people say. Does it matter? Do you care? Is it important? Is it not? I'm really, really grateful that you took our time to share your opinions with me right from the depths of your heart. For those who said they don't care about what people say, I thank you so much for your blunt honesty. For those who said they care, I also thank you for your amazing opinion. And now, this is what I have to say about what people say about us, if it matters or not, if we care or not, if we should care or not, if we should take it into consideration or not. But before I start, I'd like to define a few words concerning what people say about us. People can speak about us in various ways. People can gossip about us. People can give feedback to us. People can have impressions about us. People can recommend us. They can, give their they can perceive things about us. All right. So I'll start with the most common way people talk about us in society. I'll start with gossip. I think gossip is some form of informal way of speaking to people behind their back. It could be spreading rumors about them. It could be hearsay, speaking about personal information, and so many things that happen in people's lives. And the closest people to you can gossip about you. The furthest people away from you can gossip about you. There are people who gossip people on internet, on blogs and comment sections, and without even getting to know these people. So gossip can be in several forms. And now I'd also say that gossip can be sometimes harmless. It can just be for entertainment. On the other hand, it can be very, very harmful and can damage reputations and can destroy relationships. So I'll give you an example of a gossip. Okay, maybe you are going through a broken relationship with someone, and the only decision you have to make is break up with this person, but because you're maybe scared of what people will say, that's gossip. People going to gossip about, oh, Nana, so we start follow that boy, they don't already finish. Oh, you only date that boy for 6 years, they don't already finish. Oh, and all these other things, that's gossip, and it can get to you if you let it get to you, and it can not get to you if you don't let it get to you. So that's one way that people can speak about you. Another way people can speak about you is feedback. I know there are so many people in this house, even just like myself. Sometimes I like to speak my problems to people, and I'm saying what's going on in my life to these people, and I'm expecting some form of feedback. I want them to be honest with me. That's why if I'm narrating you what's going on in my life and I expect to give me a solution, that's a feedback. I'd be ready to take positive criticisms, or if you have to tell me, okay, you did this correctly, you did that wrongly, I'll be ready to take that. So feedback could also be about your performance. If you're a business person, maybe the way you treat your clients, and they give you the kind of feedback they give you. You work in a company, your boss can give you feedback on how you're performing at work. It could be constructive or negative, but the intention given on feedback is actually to provide insight or guidance, or to make you improve. All right, so feedback is actually a very, very valuable tool for personal and professional development. It can help you understand your strengths, it can help you understand your weaknesses, and then your areas for growth. So effective feedback is specific. All right, it has to be timely and actionable. When people tell you, okay, this is it, this is that, you have to take it positively and be ready to work on yourself. So feedback mostly focuses on behaviors than personal attributes. I hope you all understand. Okay, so another word that people can actually speak about us, another domain, is impression. But first of all, there is perception and there is impression. Now, perception is what people feel, smell, or sense around you. So perception has to do with senses. Maybe the kind of body spray you wear, maybe the way your aura around people, the way you smell, People can perceive that this kind of energy, the way you speak, people can perceive that this is coming from a place of bitterness. This is coming from, so they can take that and speak about it, all right, because they've perceived something about you. I hope you all understand. So the difference between perception and impression is that while perception is mostly the senses, impression is actually seeing you behave that way. Do you understand? For example, if you're speaking to someone rudely in public, the impression you give to people is that you could be a very disrespectful person. Okay, so if you come early to work, if you do things right, you do things correctly, you can make an impression, a positive impression. This person is like this. So impression, you would have to act well, do things right. If you do things the other way around, maybe negatively, the impression you give is that no, this person is not competent, this person is not ready, this person is not available, this person is not credible. That's what impression entails. I hope you follow. And then one other word that I like us to look at is recommendation. People can speak about us in recommending us, or by recommending us to companies, recommending our businesses, giving referrals. That's one way people can actually speak about you. So recommendation here, it could be maybe suggestions or advice given to someone regarding the course of your action or your choice. It's often based on your expertise, your experience, or your knowledge of a particular subject matter, or a particular business, or particular job. So people can recommend you in various forms, like personal endorsement. We have, for example, our Caro and copies in Cameroon, because of the number of followers and the number of influence that they've had on people. They get recommended for contracts, they get recommended for gigs, they get recommended for endorsements. So, and recommendation, I must say that it's very, very important for you to work on yourself to build your credibility. Recommendation has a lot to do with your history. How is this person? Where is this person from? Which school did this person attend? What are they doing in life? You're recommending them. What portfolio do we have of this person? That's recommendation. People gather this information, they're able to recommend you. Recommendation also works for, I've recommended people for as wife material, as girlfriends. Like I've done matchmaking. I don't want to call it hook up change. It's another word. So I've done matchmaking by telling A that, okay, I know this girl, I know her background, she's a good person. Recommending someone as a good wife, recommending a man as a good husband. So this will have to have you work on yourself a lot in order to be positively recommended. And then last but not the least is the bigger word that we have in our subject for today. It's called reputation. Your impression, feedback, perception, recommendation, all of this has to do with your reputation. So what I will say is that what people say about you can matter to varying degrees depending on the context and importance that you place on their opinions. All right, so it is actually essential to consider people's feedback constructively. And I'll tell you something, feedback from others can provide valuable insight. It can provide opportunities for growth. It can help in understanding how you're perceived by others. So you see that all these words actually inculcate each other. All right, but it's important to filter and evaluate feedback that's been given to you. You have to consider its source. You have to consider its relevance. You have to know who is speaking to you about what. You have to understand the potential basis of this feedback that they give to you. All right. But one thing I also have to let you all know is that your self-worth shouldn't rely on other people's perception. You'd have to trust yourself. You have to trust your own judgment. And it's very crucial for your growth and for your well-being. So how you interpret and respond to other people's opinion in a way that aligns to maybe with your values and your goals is very, very important. Now, Let me give you an example of what people say. I wrote down a text here and I said, Jesus asked his disciples, what do people say about me? This is going to everyone in this group. You have to be very intentional about the reputation that you build. Jesus is asking this question because he walked the surface of the earth for some time and he would like to know what people have said about him so far. This was not going to change the fact that he is God. This was not going to change the fact that he is Jesus Christ. This was just to make him understand if his mission is being accomplished. That's why when he left, he gave an assignment, preach and teach the gospel to the ends of the earth. He wanted to make sure if the foundation that he was establishing is actually being established. So that was why he was asking from the closest people to him, who do people say I am? Okay, who do you say I am? If we can get what people say we are, who are the closest people around us? What do they think of us? They say charity begins at home. What's your assignment? What are you building? How intentional are you about your life? Okay, I know people will gossip negatively about you. Ignore that. I think those are the kind of things you shouldn't care because, like all of you said, whether we like it or yes, people will speak about us. But we would want people to give their honest opinion about us. You know, there is a way you live your life that when someone opens their mouth to speak ill about you, people who know you will be like, are you speaking about patients or somebody else? Like the very patient will know you so. Because of the impression that you've given them, because of the perception, because of the feedback that you've taken and worked on in your life. So it's very important that you care about what people are saying about you so far so that you know if you're actually fulfilling your assignment. How is your life in your company? What are your colleagues saying about you? What are your senior managers saying about you? How is your business? What are your customers? What are your clients saying about you? Oh, that girl is a fine clothing, but he overrude. The way they talk for people, the man no go buy again for the. You would have to want to be very, very intentional. I bet you, for your business to work, for your career to be successful, you would have to care about what people say. And like most of you said, you have to focus on building a good reputation. You have to be intentional. You don't just have to do things anyhow. I'm living my life. It's my business. I don't care. You know, smoke shisha, post on your status, do things like, things that will actually make people talk, which is okay. They will talk. But can we just give people positive information about us? Apostle Paul said some things. He said there are some things that you're not supposed to do among kids. For example, alcohol, it's not actually a sin like that. But if you'd have to drink alcohol that way, there are some people you shouldn't do it in front of them because you're influencing them somehow. So not only do what people say about you matter, but your life, is it an example for people to copy? There's some things that you'd have to do in private. I saw something on someone's status. They said that if you're not caught, do not confess, which means there are just some things that you die with them within you because it will influence the rest of your life and people around you. And that is very, very, very important. All right. So I'd like to encourage us to work on our lives, work on ourselves, build our reputations, make a life where we can be recommended for the businesses that we do. Referrals can come. She produces great cakes and she's very, very polite. She's very always available. She's credible. If she says she's designing your clothes today you have them. You'd have to build that credibility, that trust. You know, you'd have to really build your life in that domain. If you say you're coming, come. If you're not going to come, you'd have to call. You know, you'd have to work on character. Like you could look at, so hey, the get fashion. Even your enemies that speak ill about you, when they open their mouths to speak, people will sense that this is a jealous one. We are not sure that that's how that person is. So if you listen to this to the end, I'm really grateful that you did. And I hope that this week becomes a very beautiful week for all of us while we wait for our next mind-blowing topic. All right, take care everyone. I love you. Know that, okay?